Hi, I'm Kaden Leek, and I'm going to do a tour around the police station. I got it.
It just pulls that trailer good. So.
Go ahead, baby.
All right. Hi, how are you? This right here, this guy in the blue shirt is a sergeant. So he's in charge of my shift, which is from 3 o'clock in the afternoon until 1:30 in the morning.
Okay, so you're both the boss.
No, he's the boss.
Oh.
I'm a lone patrolman.
Oh, because I can see you both like the blue shirt and you are both have
He's got, you see these stripes he's got right here, these bars?
Yep.
That means he's the boss.
Got it.
See, I don't have any bars. No bars.
Someday soon, hopefully.
And then there's a guy with a white shirt somewhere around here. Oh, he's not here, he left. But that's the head boss. So this right here?
But is there like a guard somewhere?
No, no guards. We're the guards. It's different than like the county jail. Those are all guards.
I think he's putting jail and police station together.
It's a little bit different. So Sergeant Higgins here, he basically answers any of the questions that we have when we're on the road. We have a lot of things that we have to do. So Sergeant Higgins kind of gives us like the answer if we don't know. So he needs to know a lot more than we do.
How do you know when someone like robs the bank, does speed traffic?
All right, so anytime somebody robs a bank or anytime somebody breaks into somebody's house, if they have an alarm, banks and restaurants all have alarms. They'll trigger an alarm. And a bank robbery is really important because they trigger a special alarm. It's called the panic alarm. And that alarm goes right to our dispatch office. And there's a secret code that the manager has to tell the bank clerk on whether or not their bank's being held up or not. Sometimes an alarm goes off by accident and you forget that you turned it on.
I have a question.
Sure.
What are these right there?
So these are keys to all of our cars.
Oh.
So half of these cars here, like up to 14, aren't real patrol cars. These are cars that we use for like construction. Like if somebody's digging a hole in the street, they still have lights on them and stuff, but they're not as good as these cars here. So then all these patrol cars are ours, and then it stops at about 4950 is the last patrol car, and then these are all special vehicles. This is a prisoner vehicle. This is these three are for like the police academy.
What happened to jail right there?
So that's the jail vehicle. So that means that they were going to jail. So this officer right here is bringing these guys. He's bringing somebody to jail.
Shotgun CJ? I need to get one.
So that means somebody's going to bring somebody to jail. Every time when you wrote something, a jail, somebody's going to bring them to jail.
Right. So you see how this is. What number is that?
53.
All right. So what does that say?
Academy.
All right, academy. So these guys are at the police academy right now. So that's where, that way if CJ or Sergeant Higgins ever looks at the board, he knows that car 53 is going to the police academy. They handle anything that has to do with court. So when we write tickets to people, for speeding or doing something they're not supposed to do with their car, they come here to pay the ticket, and they come here to get a court date. And then these ladies in here will come to the window, they'll take your money, or they'll give you the date that you have to come to court.
So you know how you always ask Jace what happens if somebody is speeding?
Yes, when somebody's in trouble, they go up there, and when they have these cars, they just pay them, then they're free.
Yes, then that's it. Then they pay it. Some people forget to pay their fines.
How much do you have to pay?
Well, this is what this is right here. So this chart right here is just about every traffic ticket that we can possibly write. And then
wait, somebody only got $26?
Yeah, so see, $26 is failure to display your owner's name on a commercial vehicle. So that's how much, if I wrote that ticket, that's how much it would be.
But what's the biggest money ever?
I think the most expensive ticket on here is littering. And
300, the 530?
530 is for speeding on a commercial truck. It's a little different. But let me see if I can find
Or maybe that's that. The $1,885.
This was where, when you called 911 for help, or if you had any questions, they'd come right in here, and they'd be able to answer the phone and say, 911, what's your emergency? But now we went over to Monmouth County dispatch, so it's a little bit different. So we don't use this office anymore. But we still use these cameras. So right now there's a prisoner right there, he's in cell 3. So he's in that one right there.
Oh, can I get a photo?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't see it.
What about right here? You see that guy?
Yeah.
In cell 5, you see his hands right there?
He's trying to get out. And
Well, he knows he's leaving soon, so he's waiting. They're taking him to county
he's
jail.
getting excited.
He's going to county. He's definitely getting excited.
No.
You do not want to go to county jail. It's not
He's
fun.
not leaving here to get out permanently, buddy. He's going to a bigger jail.
And then these cameras here are the rest of the police department. So that way people can watch all the time what's
Okay,
going
I
on.
have 2 questions.
What do you got?
Well, why the time is long a little bit?
All right,
In the
so
15.
1542 is military time. So anything after 12 o'clock in the military goes to 12. 1 o'clock, which is 1 p.m., would be 1300. 2 o'clock's 1400. 3 o'clock's 1500, and it goes all the way up to 00, which would be midnight.
You're good at math, buddy. Think, how many hours are in a day?
Oh, yeah.
24 hours
So
in a
you
day.
just count all the way up to 24.
So instead of going back after 12, it keeps going to 24. Make sense?
Yeah, got it.
So if people drink too much like alcohol and they get behind the car and they drive, you can't do that. It's illegal. So like if you get really, really drunk and you decide you're going to drive home or drive to a friend's house and we stop you, this is where you come. So you see right there, you see that bar? These are handcuffs here. So we'll sit you on this bench and we'll handcuff you. And the reason why we do that is so that 1, you can't escape, and 2, sometimes people are really drunk and they can't stand upright, so we'll have them sit so they don't get hurt.
So, and buckled him so he doesn't accidentally stand up and fall?
Exactly. Because what
Okay.
happens
So
once
that means he's not really under arrested.
he's under arrest?
Oh no, he's under arrest, buddy.
Yes, he is.
Oh,
When
yeah.
you drink too much,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
under arrest.
If you drive a car. You can drink a lot and be in your house and have, stay home.
But
And,
at the police station, you can't.
They're talking about grown-up drinks,
Yeah,
Jace.
grown-up.
Not just like water or juice or soda. He's talking about grown-up drinks that you can't drive when you drink them.
Like coffee.
No,
No,
more
like-
more
like-
grown-up than that.
like beer, like Bud Lights. You can't have any Bud Lights.
Ice soda.
No, like
water.
wine,
soda.
alcohol, guys. Alcohol.
So kids, so like water and stuff are allowed.
Yes.
Yes.
You can see how exposed they are in our house.
Yeah. we only have apple juice.
That's good. That's all I got in my house.
Yep, and I have water. And we have milk, and I think that's it. Yeah.
What about Honest Kids fruit juice boxes?
Nope.
That's what I got.
Nope.
Their
Yeah.
daddy is an organic nut, so it's all the 100% juices and
Gotcha.
yeah.
So you go to this machine. This is where everything goes. So I won't open this up. I can only do this because it'll start turning on. You see that right there?
Yeah.
So we put in all your information there with this computer right here. And then Chase, right there at the bottom, see that
Can I
yellow?
open it?
Yep, open that. So this tube right here, you see these things right here?
Yeah.
There's a tube that comes out of this machine, and we hook it up. We hook this little thing on here, and we have you keep blowing a long breath sample until the machine beeps. Once the machine beeps, then it gives us a number. And then, do you guys know what the legal number is for drunk driving in
Nope.
New Jersey?
Nope.
0.08. So anything over 0.08 or more, you're considered to be drunk driving. So you can have like 2 beers and get behind the wheel and still be under 0.08. But anything more than that, it gets a little higher. So that's when you become in trouble. All right? And then
Got
the
it,
computer
so-
tells
But
us.
if you're not 21, it's always illegal.
Always, yeah. So if you're not 21, you have like a glass of wine, and you decide you're going to go to your friend's house and you get pulled over, it's 000. So the minute you blow, if you're 0.01 and you're under 21, it's an automatic drunk driving.
Okay.
All right.
So when you're under 21, you can.
You can't drink
Yeah.
anything.
Nothing. You can drink water and soda, but you can't have any type of
But
alcohol.
when you have what happens when it's higher 21?
You
Then you're
can have
under
alcohol,
arrest.
Then you're legal. But if it's
Oh, if you're older than
if
21.
it's over that legal limit, then you're going to get arrested like 6 different people. So this cell was really full. So sometimes we don't like to put people together, especially if like 2 people did a crime together. We'll keep them separate so they can't come up with the same story. Because what happens if like you guys get in trouble at home and your mom asks, Jay, she asks you a question, what do you tell her?
So I don't know.
And what do your brother tells her a different story sometimes, right? Like how did my vase break? And you'll say, oh, it fell off the table, the dog hit it. Caden might say, oh, Jason's playing with his basketball and it knocked it over. So then your mom's got to figure out who's telling the truth. That's kind of the same thing that we have to do.
So what if when we so how are you gonna figure out how we're telling the truth?
Good question.
That's how we figure. See that's only parents know how that happens. I can't give you that secret because then you guys are going to use it against your mom.
Even I know a lot of people know this, that when you like waste someone's money, you also go to jail.
Yes, that does happen. That's called stealing, right?
Yeah, like when you buy a computer and someone breaks it, it's a waste.
That right.
Then you have to buy it back or go to jail.
Yeah, see that happens. Sometimes people get really angry with somebody in their house and they'll break something.
Yes,
they'll
but
get arrested and then they got to pay for it back.
Okay, but how come that I'm telling the truth? What happens for makeup when I'm telling the truth and Caden's not? That means I go back and go back home and Caden has to go to the jail.
Depends what you
Well,
did.
It depends what you did. And sometimes, you know what happens when you tell a lie?
If you just
What happens when you guys tell a lie? You
that
guys
means
know?
you're in big trouble.
What else happens though?
But you go and you could just go in your room for a timeout.
Right, but you know what happens usually when people start lying?
What?
They can't remember their story 100%. They can't remember the whole story they just told. So you know what your mom remembers?
What? Yeah.
The whole story you just told. So she might ask you again, and you might say, oh, you know, Jace dropped it with, you hit it with the baseball. And your mom would say, oh, you said it was a basketball before. Oh, I mean a basketball. And that's how it starts.
Mm-hmm.
And then we start digging a little bit more, and then before you know it, you're like, all right, I broke it. I did it myself.
They're specially trained to figure out when you guys are lying.
So you guys want to sit in here for a minute? This is the holding cell.
But can you close
Oh, he's locking it. He's locking it.
For you.
for a little bit?
I'll open it.
Jace, you're
I won't
fine.
lock you in there.
Okay. This what.
So this is what happens. You guys sit right in there, right? And then we'll ask you a couple questions. And then this is how it goes. So ready? I'm going to ask you guys a couple questions.
Then we can open.
Nope, no getting out.
I'm going to see what you guys know.
No.
All right.
All right, listen, he's going to ask questions.
What's your last name?
Leek.
How do you spell it?
L-E-A-K. We're both Leek.
All right. How do you spell your first name?
K-A-I-D-E and J-A-C-E. Yep, that's my bud. That's my buddy to say.
All right. What about your middle initial?
Matthew and Alex. And Alexander.
And what-
We don't know how to spell. We don't know how to spell a middle name.
Well, initial it means the first letter, so
First letter.
what's Alexander?
A. So it's A.
Nice.
M.
What about your date of birth, Chase? What's that?
Huh?
What's your birthday?
January 30th. And I was born in 2009.
All right.
Mine is September 25th, and I was born in 2010.
All right. How old are you, Jace?
I'm 9.
9. What about Caden?
7.
7. All right. See, this is the cell sheet. That's exactly what we'd start asking.
Oh yeah, but do you actually write it down?
Yeah, we have to write it down. So then we ask, usually before we put you in there, we'll pat you down and we'll empty out all your pockets. So we'll say you guys had 0 money.
Yes.
All right? you had no property, just sneakers.
Huh? There's also.
Don't touch
Wait
anything.
a minute. They use this so they don't get in a fight, or then they can get split too.
Why do you think there's glass here between the cop and the bad guy? Why do you think that's there?
So they can So they
If
don't
there's
hurt
a-
the cop.
Yeah.
Right.
Because if the bad guy's back there, do you want somebody to be able to grab you while you're driving?
No. No.
And sometimes we have guys that like to spit at us, so that keeps us a little bit safer. Where we don't get spit on.
And plus, they can be separate.
Right.
Why do you think
That means they don't fight each other when they're in the car.
Well, this car we only take 1. This is for 1 prisoner only. So most of our cars are only, this is called a half cage. So we'll sit 1 prisoner in here, and then that side there's no cage. And the reason for that is because the seats on the driver's side, they made these cars where it's real tight in the front. So if we have 2 cages, you can't move that seat any further back. We have a lot of tall guys here.
Is this locked? So, can you open
You cannot open it from in there, but I can unlock it for you once you're
You
in
can close it, Kaden. We'll get you out.
there. Big it. 341s?
You can test it out if you
You
want.
want to test it out?
Yeah.
All right.
Jace, why do you think the bars are on the windows?
Because that means you don't escape.
That's
right.
right.
So what did I tell you guys about the guy in the white shirt?
Don't forget that can lock it off.
What are the guys in the white shirts? You guys remember?
Well,
We're the evil people.
They're the head bosses, right? Remember the other guy upstairs, he was only in the blue shirt. We didn't have a white shirt there. So this is Deputy Chief Stefanski. He's like one of the head bosses.
Hi.
What's up, guys? How are you?
What is looking about? Whoa.
So sometimes, like if somebody, let's say somebody broke into somebody's house tonight, right? I can take this off and I can bring it in and I can take pictures of everything that is in the house. So
Oh
like,
yeah, like there's a criminal one, then
Right.
you take the picture, then it run away, then you can send it to the other cop, then call them for help.
Very good.
And then get more.
There you go.
So
That works too.
I have a question.
Sure.
Is there like squats or something? Because I heard about this like squats and something.
SWAT
We
team?
do have a SWAT team, and actually the leader of our SWAT team is one of my other sergeants, Sergeant Jagani. But he's not in until, maybe he'll be here in a little bit. He's here at 5 o'clock today.
And squats is very tough.
Yeah, it is very tough. Your neighbor, or you have a question for the judge about, something with your property, you come here and you'll talk to the judge. And the judge sits in that big chair in the middle, and you'll listen to what you have to say. And Kate, where you're standing is where the prosecutor sometimes will stand, and he'll basically say, this is what's going on.
But mom, is this? But I have a
The
question.
other way, so you'll sit right here.
I have a question. Is this going to yell the whole room what is the put on everything?
You mean can everyone hear?
Yes.
Yeah, through the microphone.
Oh, so when we read it, they can do it right now, like.
Everything's heard in here, and then everything's recorded. So if you tell the judge, like, oh no, I wasn't doing this, Your Honor, and the judge finds out that you were, then you lied to the judge. You think that's a good idea to lie to the judge?
No.
Probably not, right?
So, but can we use it?
You can talk in there, go ahead. Don't scream.
Don't scream because it's loud, Jace. Low talking. Just say hello.
Hello.
See?
So then we go to the
Very low,
book.
Kaden.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, the things you have to look forward to.
Kaden.
So during court,
All right,
that's
listen,
on,
guys, listen.
and it records everything you're saying. So sometimes people will forget that they're being recorded, and they'll lie to the judge, and they'll say, no, I wasn't drunk driving, or no, I didn't have that in my car. And the defense attorney or the prosecutor will then show the evidence, and the person will say, oh, no, I did have that. So then they'll get in trouble. It's called perjury, and then they get in trouble again.
Well, what is perjury?
Perjury is when you lie to the judge under oath.
Okay, stop.
Kaden.
And then stop.
So when we're here, we have this Bible, we have to swear on it. And put your hand up, and you say who you are, and then you say you swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth. And then at that point, you're sworn under oath, and everything you say has to be the truth. And if you lie, you get in trouble, including police officers.
So we use this,
Yep. And
It's a magic book. You can't lie to it.
This is where you sit. You sit right in this little box here, and that's where you talk.
So, oh yeah.
So when you're answering the questions, that's where you sit.
Oh yeah, and maybe when you're lying, stop singing.
Kaden, enough with the microphone. Come on.
Yeah.
So this carries extra bullets. So in here, can you guys see that number right there?
Yep. Yeah.
What number is that?
15.
So there's 15 bullets in here. So sometimes, if something's really, really bad, I might need more than 15 bullets. So I carry some extra ones. So I have a total of 45 on me. I have 15 here. 15 here is what? 15 plus 15? 30, right? What's
And
another
30 plus-
15?
45.
45, very good. You are good at math.
one of the guns?
Sure. So this is called a baton, right? You see it? It's like this, right? And it opens up to this.
Whoa, it's like a telescope.
Yeah, kind of like a telescope or a periscope.
Yep. But when you press that button, it shoots the
So,
bullet.
nope, so this button right here closes it. So to open it, let's go down real hard and it opens.
Oh,
That's-
so
Try it?
what are you going to use it for?
So I use that, good. Just do it away from your brothers. Do it that way. There you go, nice work. You push that
What
button
is
on the
that for?
bottom.
What is that for?
So that's one of, it's called, it's for self-defense. So sometimes, hard. Good.
So like when there's like a person is coming, you just pull out this and knock them off?
No, not for prisoners. Sometimes we have to go to places where people don't want us.
This is awesome to help you, kind of.
Yes, so this
Just
is
like fight or something. It's like a
right.
sword.
So sometimes people are fighting, or people decide they want to fight the police. So you obviously can't just try to wrestle with them sometimes, right? And then sometimes you have to do another. It's called another tool. So this is called our expandable baton. And it's called physical force. So we would use this, and there's parts of your body that we're allowed to hit. So like anything that's really meaty, like your biceps, your thighs, your forearms, and then things that you can't, it's called your red area, like your head. What happens if you think I hit you over the head with this? What would happen?
You would get really hurt.
You get really hurt, right? And that's not what we want to do. We don't really want to hurt people that bad. So we want to make sure that we're doing something that's going to make us put handcuffs on you without us getting hurt and without hurting you. So that's why you do like meaty areas, right? Like here, like your stomach and stuff. Like that's a good spot. So that's that. And you guys know what this is, right?
Yeah, walkie.
You know,
That's why my teachers always have it before we go to recess.
right. Now schools have it too now. Do you know what this yellow orange button is on here?
No.
So that's an emergency button. If I push this and I push it down, this starts lighting up like a strobe light.
But do you actually press it?
Yes, you have to push it. So it will light up like a strobe light, and then that sends an alarm to the dispatch, and they'll call my radio and they'll say, "Hey, are you all right?" And if I don't answer, they're going to send a bunch of patrol cars to wherever I'm at.
Oh, that's neat. It's like an emergency alarm.
So it lets you know that I might be in trouble. Sometimes we hit it by accident, like the seatbelt might touch it. So they'll ask if we're right, and we always usually answer like, "Oh, I'm fine, I'm 10-4," which means I'm okay. But if you don't answer, they're going to be sending a couple guys your way. And it lets every other car on the road know that you're in trouble, because in my car radio, it'll start beeping at me and has the number of the officer that's in trouble. And then I can figure out where he was last. So then here is, what did I show you guys in the car? What was that in that bag? What did I say we do?
Purple. It's like a purple thing, like a little bit like.
What did I say we were called? First what?
Respawn.
Good.
Responders.
First responders. So that means we're always calling an emergency first. So typically people get cut, right? Yeah. Sometimes we deal with people that got really sick, or sometimes people fall and they go to the bathroom themselves. So you think I want to touch any of that with my bare hands?
No.
So I put these gloves on. They're just rubber gloves like doctors use. I put them on, and then I'll do first aid. So like,
oh yeah, so when you do a prisoner, then you fix it?
Right, not everything's a prisoner. Like last night there was a really old lady. She was like 95 years old, and she fell. So when she fell, she cut her whole entire arm like that big.
Wow.
Like a huge gash. She cut it on the side of the wall because she was old and she had real delicate skin. So when we got there, she was bleeding really bad. So I didn't want to touch it with my bare hands, so I had my gloves on.
That will hurt him more.
Right, but the gloves keep me from catching any of her blood on me. So then we did first aid. She got some water put on there, and then we cleaned it out. Then we wrapped it, and paramedics took her to the hospital so she can get it checked out.
Think of Nurse Mac. Think of Nurse Mac, guys, before she touches you guys when you go to the nurse.
Yeah,
she always puts gloves on, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And these are handcuffs.
Oh,
right?
Can you wear it on me?
Sure. Sure. So these, I have two different ones. So
oh yeah,
these ones are chains.
so these both goes right there.
So, right.
So that means they can't use their hands to hurt people and hurt like that.
Right.
Guess what? I heard about.
So go on with that.
I heard about these before.
I hope not.
I saw someone has this in their house.
Oh, maybe a toy?
Yeah.
Those aren't a toy, though. Jace, turn around. Let me see you. Can you move?
Nope. Yeah.
Nope.
But I can shove my hands up and that. Please get the handcuffs.
Do you think he put it on that loose on a real criminal?
No.
No.
So you know what's really cool about handcuffs?
What?
There's a special button there. It's called a double lock. So let me show you.
This is how tight.
So you see how
Look,
it
Jace.
right now?
Jace, look what he's doing.
See how it opens up like that?
Yeah.
So if I put this on you, what happens is we always handcuff people behind their backs, right?
Yeah.
So when we handcuff on your back, you're going to sit in the car, right? So this thing, as you're moving, will keep tightening and tightening and tightening. You think that's going to hurt after a while?
Yeah.
Right? So this button here,
Oh,
so
wow.
I'll leave it like that, right?
Yeah.
This button right here, I'll push it in, and it keeps this from tightening on you. So I make it just tight enough so that you can't move, you can't slide out of them, but they won't get tighter on you.
Oh, I think I have to make myself tight.
Yours is pretty tight. You see, right now you probably can't slide that off. So I would tighten it like that, and now it won't get tighter on you. It'll stay just like that the whole car ride to the police station.
Why can't you help me get out?
Yeah.
Nah, leave it.
Oh, he wants to leave him.
Oh, I just like them. Thank you.
This here is called pepper spray. So this is probably the worst thing that can ever happen to you. You get in trouble by the police. You get sprayed in the face with this,
What?
and literally every booger that you have in your nose will come out. And your eyes get real swollen, and you start crying, and you start choking because it bothers your throat, and then your nose just keeps pouring out snot. And the whole thing is that you can't see. So if somebody's fighting the police, we'll say we're going to spray you, and we'll spray them. So it'll be like just about as far as I empty your brother right now. This is too close. So just about this far, and I'll spray his face. And it goes, will hit right here, and it just pours down. And that's exactly how you are. And you start crying.
Except it hurts a lot.
Yeah, but then you can't see a thing. Then you can help, and the policeman will help you.
Well, he'll arrest them.
After you get
Then you
handcuffed.
can't see. Then when you open your eyes,
You can't even-
but how long is it gonna be gone?
It takes a long time. We have to flush it out with water. So we have, a bottle of water that we'll pour on their face, and then we'll bring them to the police station. We use a hose to wash it out. Even after it's washed off, it's still there. Like it's stuck, especially you have long hair. So it gets stuck in your hair, so when you get in the shower later, it come down to your eyes.
Okay.
And it burns. So we've been sprayed, all the police officers here got sprayed at the police academy. And
Well, what happens when the police accidentally spray the other police?
that's why you have to get sprayed at the police academy so you know what to do. Because what happens?
That means what you do on purpose, like spray, what happens when you're joking around with that and spray that a lot?
Well, do you think a cop would ever joke around with his tool belt?
No.
No, right? It's not a good idea.
Or you're gonna get arrested forever.
Well, yes, you get in trouble. All right, so you guys know what this is?
What?
This is called a tourniquet. All right, and this is really important because what this does is, if I'm ever hurt, like if I get shot, or let's say I got bit by a dog real bad, and he took off my arm, lost a lot of skin, I'd have to bring this up.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a little dirty. So I have to slide this up. You have to do this by yourself, unless you have somebody with you, and bring it all the way up. So let's say I got bit right here, right? So I want to bring this up above the bite wound, and I tighten this down, just like that.
Okay.
All right? And I take this thing, I tighten it with this. You keep tightening it and tightening it.
But how is it going to go down there?
Nope, it's going to stop. So what it does is it kind of stops the circulation so that I won't keep bleeding. And it's called a tourniquet, so it keeps
Oh yeah, so the dog bites right there.
Right
That's
here.
Right there.
You want to go right above the wound. Because what happens is the blood rushes to the wound, right?
Yeah.
The blood's coming from where? Your heart. So it's going to come this way, right?
Yes.
So if I cut it from the top, the blood's not going to come this way. It's got to come from down up.
Yeah, but it's coming, when you put this on, it's coming down to you.
So now it won't be able to come down anymore because it stops it. It's kind of like...
It's not a Band-Aid, buddy. You're thinking more a Band-Aid. That's to stop the bleeding from coming out of his
From
arm.
making a dam.
So it doesn't come out of you? Yeah,
Right.
it doesn't come out. That means you put it right there and put it back to your heart.
Right. So it keeps the blood from, so I don't lose a lot of blood, and then it can also keep me.
It's more than a Band-Aid, right?
More than a Band-Aid, right?
Yes. Plus, for how long will it take to get away?
So you see, what does that say right there?
Time.
All right, so I got to write down the time. So let's say you did it for me. Let's say it was me and you, right? And I got bit by this really mean dog. You'd write down the time. What time?
Okay, so you're going to send it for 5 hours.
All right, so you could say 4:30, right? 14 or 16:30, right? And then by the time the ambulance got there, it knows what time you put the tourniquet on. So let's say the ambulance took forever to get there. It would know that you did it at 4:30.
So that means that dog has been trained a lot.
Yeah, he gets trained a lot.
And he likes to be trained, right?
He likes to be trained. He loves being trained.
Why don't you ask his name, guys?
What's your name? What's your name?
His name is Nero.
Hi, Nero.
Come on, come here.
Nero's an officer just like they are.
Fluffy. You're Fluffy. Is he a boy or girl?
He is a boy. He's 2 years old.
And you're so handsome.
No, excited. Excited.
She haven't seen a person in a long time.
No, he just did a demo with a bunch of kids actually. It's at the Christian Brothers Academy High School.
She likes it.
You guys have seen
Don't grab his tail.
you guys have seen the demo lessons.
Yeah, don't
I
grab
know,
his
we
tail.
just saw it at Costco.
Yeah, just don't grab his tail.
I know, is he a little nervous?
He's
he's excited.
he's excited, but he's also protecting me. He's making sure I'm okay.
What kinds of officer is he?
He's a patrol narcotics.
Patrol narcotic?